Me. What's that? It's me. Just the box is there. Buttons. Many buttons actually. So, are there any fair folk? Are any spirits? Hi. Feel free to come and communicate. I'm opening up communication now, so you can come forth and communicate. Hi, hello. Baby. What? Do we have any spirit people here, please? I've just not looked what I was to get out then, but it was very quiet. Ghosts. You were having a giraffe, are you? Who said ghosts? Who said that before? The more active at night for me, James, like after a certain time. That just said rape me. That's... Hello. That's the fair folk. Do we have any spirit people? Dave. Everybody's been getting that through. Dave. There's a lot of people being getting that in the spirit boxes. There must be something to it, right? Or they're just listening to everybody else's spirit boxes. I'm not sure. Hi, Sam. Great session the other night, Sam. Great session. I've just got the other one to watch. A few more to catch up on. Beep, beep. Hey, UFO as well. None of that. I'm not a git. Stop it. Chill. Your titties. Please. They are naughty. Oh, yeah. Who's the lady? Who's the lady? Who's the lady that said ghosts? Yeah, and I get it a lot. Ribbit. Ribbit. Chris. Who's Chris? Are you... Oh. Do you mean Ginger? Oh. Hi, Daisy. Shush. So, if I turn the actual sweet down. Right. Are there any spirit people, please? There's two voices and then there was a nope. So who am I speaking to then? My name's Claire, as you know. I mean no harm or disrespect. I'm a bit loud with a fair, but that's usual. Can I have your name? That's a stupid. Do we have any spirit people here with me right now? It's just on the step, guys. Ew. What kind of beings are you then, if you're not spirit? There was a lady earlier that said ghost. That was awesome. That's very quiet. Oh, what? You what? I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Do we have any spirit people? Beep. Oh, hello. You sound masculine. My name's Claire. Can you tell me your name, please? Thank you. Sure will, James. Someone, what? What are you trying to say? You're always trying to say something, but it comes out kind of best impression I can do. I can't do another impression. All night party, yeah. I guess so. Let's see if we can get a reaction. Wait for it. See, there's someone talking, but they're like really distant, like really in the background. My mother told me someday I will buy gullies with good ore, sail to distant shore, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, straight steady course to the haven, you many full men. Not really. Hi. Shut up. Okay, sorry. There's a voice coming in right, but it's right in the background. I don't know how to bring it forward. I have tried many settings, but I'm not sure. I said leave. Hello. That child boy. It sounds very young. It's either child's voice or it's a fair folk. Oh, wow. Did anybody get that? Did anybody just please tell me somebody got that? Hi, Can. Faye. Faye. Okay then. How many fair folk are here? 220. Faye. I think. I don't. Who's that? It's Claire. Me. It's Claire. What's your name? Yeah. I thought that said Malik. It didn't say Malik, did it? What? A what? It's on reverse. I always have it on AM reverse because I get a better sweep. Go on then, fair folk. Just say what you need to say. Like you always do. Sounded like it said dog, did it? Are there full sentences though? Can you tell me your name, please? My name's Claire. Is that Harry or Carrot? I'm unsure. Well, my name's Claire. Are you a spirit? No. People. People. Could be. Could be. I hear better when I listen back, you know. While I'm sat here hearing it, I don't actually hear properly what's being said. But if I listen back to it, then I hear correctly. I hear more correctly. Beep beep. What? Easier. Who's here? Who's here? There's only me. Oh. Are you on the other side? Are you dead? Do you know that you're dead? That you are spirits? You're not dead. You've left your vessel. I want to make that clear. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because you're not dead. If your spirit lives on. You're not dead. Your spirit left the vessel, but you're not dead. But are you in spiritual form? Wait. Now what? Can you tell me your age? Do you have a message that you are trying to get across? The farmer. Don't bring him up. Goddamn farmer. Is the farmer here? Oi, Farmer Giles, are you around, lad? Why, aye, man? How's it hanging? Sometimes you gotta talk differently to see if you get a reaction. Ooh. Yep. Well, there's a spirit of a farmer, but usually it's in the back garden, and he died in some sort of accident, and I can't understand if he got crushed by machinery or by his animals, but he got crushed to death. No, that's a fear. You can tell the voice tone difference. But he's not evil, but he just believes that this is still his land. So it can be a little bit like aggressive. Leave. Yeah, like he'll tell me to leave all the time and to go, and so I've tried to get him to speak, but he's not interested in speaking. He's not interested in leaving either. But usually it's just in the back garden. Do you know what day it is, Spirit? Do you know what the day is today? Can you tell me my name? What's my name? take that, whatever. Kind of wanted to know my name though. Great big bushy beard. You know, he does have a beard, but he wears a hat, and I don't know what his eyes are like or his hair are like because his hat kind of covers like all this. It's like down. You get what I mean? One of them. I don't know what that means, but oh, sugar. I know we're not to other one. I'm sorry, so I need to put my plate. I'm kidding. Have a real one there, guys. Hopefully it stays on. Oh gosh. You put it more near the fence line. Like, there's just brambles. Communicate. Feel free to come and use the box. You're more than welcome. I'm a bit loud, but that's just me. I over exaggerate and I'm bouncy, but hey ho. Mm. You're very good at the paranormal though, Sam. I'm still trying to find my own grammar. It's gone very quiet, hasn't it? Yes, I get that, Sam. I really do, because all I ever want is to get through to my grandma, right? Don't get me wrong, I have seen mediums and stuff, and the response was quite interesting from a medium, but you want to hear it yourself, kind of. Do you get what I mean? We did mention Sam because, well, we mentioned both your channels, Sam, actually, because we were mentioning people that we wanted to do to get out there as proper paranormal investigators or ITC investigators, anything like that, really, that's like legit, to be honest. And you're one of them channels that is legit. Even they're greasy. She is. That's what we just said. She is. You've gone quiet now. Kind of expected at the time it is. So come out of the bramble bushes and come play. Show yourself on camera.
Oi.
See how quiet it's gone. That's because they're all inside. Vin? Why are you saying Vin? What's with Vin? My dog just been trying to get him Vin. Yeah, what you telling me? Yeah, well that's it. Um, it's it was done on Cass's channel, Sam, but I always try and do it on my channel as well because you're right. You know, you're so right. There's been a few where I've even started recording and I've turned it off because it got personal. What I presumed was personal, you know. Um, so I didn't record the rest. I would turn it off. I don't know, Kath, because when I was younger, I saw my dad a hell of a lot, right? But when I studied Sigmund Freud's work, um, Paracelsus, to do with the mind, and trauma and things, I was very traumatized as a young child, and there is a possibility that my mind created my dad, a coping mechanism, a way that I could cope. So it's very, yeah, my nan did. My nan said that if she could come back, she would come back. And that's why I've always made a point that when I go, I am definitely going to come back. If I can, I will be back. And you'll know it's me. You'll know it's me because, hello? Hello? Hi? Hi? But, yeah, I saw my dad a lot, but I don't really see spirits, but I see a lot of other things. I do sense spirits, or energy. I suppose it's energy. I sense energy. And I'm good with energy, very good with energy, but cannot classify it most of the time. Yeah, at the time I was seeing my dad was a very difficult time in my life.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if that's what fetched it forward, you know. Um, what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the whole situation. Yeah, it does, Sam. It does. There's the whole situation that after doing so much research on so many different mind therapies and how it works, we can create false memories. We can create things in our mind that we do not realize we've created them. So we think it's absolutely 1,000% real because it's in our minds and we can see it and we believe it, but actually it's false. And that threw me. That just completely threw me. I don't do proper ITC. I've just got all I have really is an SBP7, and it's just in the box that I bought, the portal that I bought off Brett. But I wouldn't say I was getting something if I wasn't. And I'll be honest with you, not much of it makes sense when I'm listening to it. As I'm sat listening, it doesn't make sense. But if I listen back, I might be able to get a few bits. What I love, and that's the thing in it, Kath, what I love the most is being out at night, and I mean like out and about places when I can get, and just feeling and just listening with no box, with all right, Daisy, no problem. With no box, with no like just me and my phone. And if something's going to come through, I think it will. But I go a lot on my intuition and on my feelings. But like I say, I'm very good with energy. I see energy, but saying that as well, it has gotten extreme since I became poorly, since I became ill. See how quiet it's gone? It's dead silent. There's like no one there. That's right, Sam. That's right. And because I have the form where basically my brain needs to take on information and I need to learn constantly. And all right, Daisy, good night. I think the batteries may have gone. The batteries have gone. Or
battery's gone on one side.
Yeah, the batteries have gone. I need to change batteries over, which I can do. I have batteries, spare batteries always. But with that ADHD version that I had that I didn't get till I was in my 30s, it's one of those things where I have to take on information and my brain processes it very, very quickly, and it learns it very, very quickly. And I need more. And if I don't get more, I get depressed. And that's exhausting. It provides me with things to do, and it's great for knowledge reasons, but it's also very exhausting because my mind's constantly on the go. Oh gosh, I didn't tell you about my dream last night. I had an horrendous dream, and I never have, like, most of my dreams are pretty placid, you know? Oh, I didn't like last night's dream. Mm-mm. No. So I'd already gone to bed and got in bed, but this, in my dream, I was going to bed, if you get what I mean. So I was replaying going to bed. And when I got into my bedroom, something felt very off. And I got this feeling that I've never, like, pit of your stomach just drops, if you get what I mean. But this is in the dream, bear in mind. It's not in reality, this is in the dream. The pit of my stomach just dropped, and it was an overwhelming feeling. And I was laid in bed. That's a drone. Is it? I was laid in bed and I was trying to get comfortable with this feeling that just something wasn't quite right, you know? And I got dragged. Out of bed. They were trying to drag me out of bed by my hair. Couldn't see anything, but I could feel it. And it was here, and I was just being pulled like this. And I was fighting to wake up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was fighting to wake up in the dream. And it's one of those where it feels so real that you wake up and panic that it really happened. But obviously it didn't. But I didn't like it. It was just the whole feeling that I didn't like. It wasn't the fact that I was being dragged out of bed. It was the energy of the feeling that came with it. I've not felt like that in a long time. I didn't like it. Something must have been playing on my mind, but I've just started a new podcast on dreams to delve into them a little bit more. and it's available. You can get it on Google Cast and you can get it on Spotify so far. It's been published on there. And I'm there as my name, Wisteria Energy Twister. And there's 2 episodes up so far, but if anybody's interested in dreams and the meaning behind them and how we can sit and work them out and put things together, then that's on my podcast. But yeah, it was this feeling of just doom. Yeah, I've had many freak out moments, I could assure you. And I really have no answer to it. I really don't know if it's me and my own brain, because I've been conditioned from a young child to see these things, which I have. I've been conditioned from a young child to see them, to interact with them, to learn their ways. So now as an adult, it's something I cannot escape from. I can't get out of that. I can't get out of the energy factor of seeing the energy because I was conditioned from a very young age. I won't go to my aunt. I won't go to my auntie's because my auntie has like what, probably over 600 pot dolls, and I don't like pot dolls.
About 2 or 3 rooms.
Yeah, the rooms are just full of pot dolls, so I don't like going there. But when I was younger, one of the houses that we were in, that was pretty active because it weren't just me that witnessed things. My auntie had a very, very odd experience. My auntie Julie, and she's terrified of anything like that. She's Christian, and she's very, very Christian. And she said she woke up in my bedroom. This is from when I was a child. She woke up in my bedroom, and the room was just full of people, all stood, just watching her and staring at her. And it freaked her out so much because it was so bizarre, in the middle at night. And I knew that I'd had weird experiences because that's where I had that experience, that thing coming to my bed. And like, memories come back as you go along, and you don't now knowing what I know. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore, and what we remember is true. But I know it crawled to my bed. Its face was in my face. Its face was there in my face. No colour eyes, black, just black eyes, and it were prickly, like, but not. It were prickly, but not prickly as in hurt you prickly, but prickly to touch. I remember stroking it in bed. It crawled up to my bed. It put its face that right at my face, and it had black eyes, and it was prickly, and it were a weird colour. And I remember I was stroking it. I was stroking its head. And I remember it said something to me, and I don't remember what it said. And I replied, "Yes, master." How fudged up is that? I were about 6-year-old. Never forget that. It was there. It was there. It crawled, and it was there. And I was stroking its head. And it said something. But how it said it would just, I can't even remember what it said, but it's like a voice that was there but was not there. Do you know what I mean? It was a voice that was there but was not there. They can, but not at 6. It could have been trauma, but I didn't like it. But I was stroking. I remember and that is the thing, isn't it? I actually remember the feel that, like, I even remember how it felt, all the little knobbly bits on it. Like, I even remember that. And I just remember saying, yes, master. That was it. I don't remember anything else. So how quiet it is. Anyway, since becoming ill, I've started to see more energy. And I like if I get right upset, if I get really upset, things tend to smash, don't they? If I get really upset, glasses smash. I don't touch them, I don't, but they do. They just explode. Now I've got some new cameras, and I have 8 new cameras. So,
Hold on, all these were mine.
well, whatever, the my cameras, but they're going up on the outside and inside because then I can catch whatever happens inside as well, you know? Because when I'm not expecting it and when I'm not recording or anything, that's when things tend to happen. So, yeah. Yeah, it's very much intuitive with me. It's like an intuition. It's a way of feeling it, but going with it. And I think that can be very hard for us to trust his intuition, because we work so hard against it most of our lives. But being brought up to trust my gut, to trust things like that, I tend to go with that, and it tends to lead me to experiences, if I'm honest, you know. Um, but yeah, since I've become ill, it's almost as if I'm being waited for. It's like they're waiting, and it's like my energy is bonding with their energy. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm trying to capture it on camera to show people what I mean, but it's so hard. And it's not to prove it because I know what I'm going through, but it's to help others because I believe that there's others that will be feeling this and going through this. There has to be others, and that might help me get answers. But the truth of the matter is, it feels like my energy is bonding with their energy. Yeah, I put one of those up, Sam. I got one and I put it up on the trail because, to be fair, there's a lot of foxes, and I love foxes, but it vanished, so it probably got stolen because people steal round here. People run away with it and they just take it for themselves because they're twats. But yeah, it does find a new home. Yeah, it vanished. So I won't be getting another one and putting one up because it's probably just going to disappear. But yeah, I truly, honestly think my energy is bonding with theirs because I'm going to that side soon. That's why. I say soon, but to be fair, could it be my shadow? Let me just move. Is it my shadow? Do we create 2 shadows? Can we create 2 shadows behind us? Yeah? Must be. Oh, that's... I don't like that. The idea of shadows freaks me out. I was a corner of the eyeshadow thing. So I don't have to say that it's definitely a shadow when it's corner of the eye because then you know, I only ever had one like proper shadow, and I still can't explain it to this day because it walked smack in front of me and it was very fast and it was gone within a second and it was definitely male. It had a hat on, and that was upstairs in the spare bedroom. Yeah, but that were different. I know what. Yeah, but I know that were that was a drug dealer that died in the bathroom. Apparently, nobody would use up to upstairs toilet. It was always freezing in the upstairs toilet. My boy saw a man on the floor with a needle in his arm, spirit apparently, because that's how he died. I didn't find out until my boy saw the spirit. So they saw this man in the toilet with a needle in his arm, and it turned out that that's where he'd actually died with a needle in his arm. But I used to see sort of flash of shadows and stuff. But my
auntie never saw it.
no, my auntie never saw it, but she felt it. She had things happen, didn't she? Things turn on and off, and it were more electrical things, weren't it?
And then when we asked landlord,
That's when he said,
that's
didn't
when we
it?
found it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was, yeah, well, landlord in the old house that said that, yeah, he died in toilet with a needle in his arm. But my sons saw, saw that, and I didn't. But also, there was a time that Joshua had night terrors and he would speak in a completely different language, almost in tongues or Latin. Well, I don't think it was Latin, to be honest, but that's what most people say it possibly was. And no idea what he was saying. And then he would wake up and he'd tell me that in the night, this was in the old house, he had been talking to what he called Blood Joel. The reason he called this little boy Blood Joel is because he said he looked like Joel, but he had blood all on his head and it had gone on his top. So it were all like it was all on one side of his head and it had gone down and on his top. Never really got any answers regarding that. Never got no answers. I'll definitely watch that back, Sophie. Definitely, it's interesting. Love all that. Looking back and seeing. But yeah, that happened for a long time. I used to call him Blood Joel. And I did not disbelieve. I did not disbelieve him. I just said to him, well, maybe he needs a friend, or I used to sit down and sort of have general conversations with him because he would have conversations with this little boy, and sometimes he would say, "Oh, he just stares at me," and then he disappears in my wardrobe. So I figured it was either an imaginary friend or something spiritual. But I never said you're not seeing that. I just used to ask him questions. What did he say? Did he say anything? And what did he do? Well, maybe he needs a friend. Have you spoke to him? Do you tell him your name and such? But that happened for a while, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. It happened for a while and then just stopped. It's fire. It's cool. You see, I don't believe that any bad come from the Ouija board, and I play the Ouija board a lot, but my aunties did the Ouija board when they were younger, and it told her that she was going to break her neck. Now, she did fall down some steps, and she hurt herself pretty badly, and she did break her back, but she survived. So, I mean, that's one story about the Ouija board. And then I remember when I was younger, I used to watch my nan and my aunties do these rituals regarding mirrors, and there would be a mirror. There'd be mirrors. So one at the front. So it was one right there, one right there, one there, one at the back, right? Stood in the circle. Man. I don't know what I saw, but I can tell you it weren't exactly human, I don't think. I don't think it had ever been human. It didn't. It was just it was it didn't have a colour, it was just black, and it weren't necessarily what it looked like, it was the feeling. And that's what I remember. I don't remember any particular features. I just remember it being black, but that feeling. It's a feeling, you know. It's very strong, whatever it was. And my nan used to do all weird things like that. She would pull things from things, I guess, out of mirrors and stuff. It's just weird, bizarre. She did believe in blood sacrifices, and she would make sacrifices and stuff like that. So horrendous. But I still loved her. She brought me up. Like, if it weren't for her, I'd be in an orphanage. So, you know. Oh yeah, I'd be locked up, mate. I'd be locked up. I'd been in I'd be in an insane asylum. Hi Shia. Hi. Sorry, I've only just seen you. But since then, I was always terrified of mirrors. And like I say, there was no real definition to this thing that came through the mirror. There was no real definition at all. But it was the feeling. It it felt just so horrible that I was frightened of mirrors. You know, I was very frightened of mirrors after that. But now I have mirrors and I'm getting there. So I am conquering my fears the best that I can. There was one time I was up in the forest and there was my nan and there was three of my aunties. And I was always there, obviously, for obvious reasons, because I was learning. And now there would be blood sacrifice and stuff. What happened, I cannot explain to this day. I don't know exactly what happened. I know what I saw. Do you want to know? You might not believe it. Hey ho. So there's always a ritual fire and there's always a blood sacrifice. There was within the coven. And I'm not going to go into what was sacrificed and stuff because I don't like it and it's not something that uh, I would do. But if I use blood, I use my own and only my own. I would never ever use anything else or anything. But it was there was chanting. It was in Latin. I do believe it's actually. I still have the chant. I still have the spells. I still have all these. I don't use them, but I have them. And there was a guy, and there was a fire, and we always had a pot, and it was always the same pot that was used. And I remember when I inherited that pot, it went straight in the bin. It went straight in the bin. No, I don't kill babies or sacrifice babies, just to let you know. I would never do that. But whatever they did, they mixed. I remember it being mixed up. I remember the smell being I eat them instead. I eat them, Cass. Yum, 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 yum. I just remember the stench, and it was a vile stench. I remember, like, oh, it was one of them that make you want to gag. And they put it on this man, and this man, he got in. I can't say it was a coffin, but it was kind of designed that way. Do you know what I mean? Like it would design. I suppose that's what it would look like to anybody else. That's what it would look like, I guess. But it wouldn't. That's not what it was designed for. But he got in there when he'd been covered in this stuff, and he were like, I can't remember, convulsing, I suppose. I mean, like, he was foaming at the mouth, and his eyes were bulging, and like, he was just making weird noises, and I'm just like crapping me. And obviously, my nan was trying to tell me not to be scared, and then it went dead silent. And I mean, like now, dead silent. No animals, no nothing. It was just silent. And I felt something behind me. I felt something behind me, but I didn't want to turn. I really didn't want to turn round. I never heard anything, but I felt it. And I was made to turn round, and I know that may be cruel, but I'll explain as I go along. And I saw a hideous beast, not human at all. And I wasn't actually scared of it, which is the thing that actually scares me now more than anything, is that I accepted this thing in front of me, and it sort of tilted its head at me. It walked past me, and then it was gone. And it didn't, like, it didn't disintegrate, it didn't go underground, it didn't float, it was just like, it was gone. It was gone. It was gone. It was gone. And about an hour later, the man was let out. Oh, that's just one of the many incidents, and I'm telling you, these things are real. I would never mess with that shit. You got no chance, right? I don't care. You can call me a witch and call me whatever you want, but you will never, ever see me mess with that shit. Nah. Like, look, I love my nan. She brought me up, right? She looked after me. She was very good to me. She bought me everything I needed. She fed me, she clothed me, she taught me really, really important good things. But for me to say that she was one of these white witches that was all of them like, I am sorry. I am sorry. That is not what she wasn't that. She was a real witch. She wasn't old the old ways, and that's it, you know? And these old ways, you can ask James. And James will tell you, the old ways, they are not love and light, I am afraid. Don't get me wrong. She never really hurt any. Well, no, I'm not. She did things for people who came to her, I suppose is the best way of putting it. I'm cold. I do palm readings. I do palm readings, James. I do all that, actually. Tarot, palm, all that kind of stuff. Yes, that's what I am now. One of those. But yeah, it's not what it's definitely the old style is completely different. There was James, and you know, it really frustrates me that people don't understand that that stuff is actually, it's legit. It's absolutely legit. And if you are from real witches with that real bloodline, I'm telling you, you're going to see shit you never want to see again. Things are going to be bad. You're going to have to learn to adapt, and you're going to have to learn to deal with the dark as well as the light, but choose wisely. You see, there's always that theory that it depends, because if the person is deserving, and the way that I work it is how I was taught to work it, and I would first find out if that person was deserving of it before I did anything like that. You know? It's very easy to curse someone as soon as you've got the DNA. And you can get the DNA in various things that they wouldn't even realise. Very easy. But then again, that's the old way. They have changed. Everybody now practices Wicca or stuff, and none of that's real witchcraft. None of it. And I get so fed up for it. It's brilliant, really. It's brilliant, and all love and respect to them. And it's great what they're practicing. I think it's brilliant, but yeah, no, I agree, Sam. I agree. But it's they did, James. Not only that, they fought with other covens. People say, "Oh, covens don't fight against covens." Are you jesting me? Covens don't fight against. Well, let me tell you something. Oh, yes, they bloody do. They fight over land and power, just the same as anybody else would. Nobody knows what it's really like. Witchcraft is not nothing that you see of today. It's not even anything to do with what bloody garden fetched in and all. And I'm sick of his name coming up, honestly. He took bits out, what he found out secretly, and made it his own. Even that is not correct. It's really not. I mean, we're talking about these people would have orgies, parties, use instruments. They would bring blood when they used the instruments. It wasn't nice. They brought blood. There would be the groups of men that would just take any woman they wanted and do as they willed. They weren't just women, and that's the thing. It was all put on the women, and it weren't just for women either. It was men too. Yeah, I am so tired, Sophie, actually. I'm sat here and my eyes are getting droopy and I'm like, I need to go to sleep. But it's like through the through the time, and everything, and looking at the different spells that I inherited, there's shape-shifting spells and all sorts in there, Like, seriously. I have a bottle of the Flying Witches potion, which is an hallucinogenic, quite dangerous, but it's real. And I made it myself because I know how to do it. But I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't dare. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I did some hallucinogenic freaking potion and came on alive? Oh my god, that would be a bloody giraffe. Oh gosh, yeah. Yes, I believe it absolutely can affect. Yeah, years later, I believe it can, Shire. It kind of depends on how often it's done, what the intentions were, and what was the outcome. Because I do believe that with many witches and things back then who did dark rituals or, cults, whatever, I do absolutely, they are hallucinogens, yeah. I do believe it can be collected and it can be left behind and it absolutely can affect people, definitely. Because energy never dies. So if someone's going out there and doing a ritual or something dark and they're creating all this negative energy, that energy is not going to die, Shire. It's going to stay there because it doesn't die. Pixies are in Cornwall. You get pixie lead in Cornwall. There's a lot of things about pixies in Cornwall, actually. You get pixie lead, but there is a belief in Cornwall, and this is the God's honest truth, that the souls of unbaptized dead babies come back in moths. It's an old age belief. It's a very old age belief. I wouldn't do it, Cass. I've got it, but I wouldn't do it. Because I'm telling you, it wouldn't be good. Where are you going, Claire? I'm flying to the moon on my broom, which is up there. Oh, God. Hang on a minute. I don't know if you can see. Where is it? It is. It's right at the top, but I can't get it on camera. It's right up there. Sorry, I'm decorating room. I'm painting all flowers separately. So yeah, it's there. That's it. That's the broom. But yeah, I decided to decorate room and decided to paint it all separately. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. Just a bit every day. I'll send it if you want, Cass. I'll send it you. Oh yeah, another very important ingredient is actually ground snails, James. Don't forget the ground snails. There's quite a few though, Sam, that do that. There's hopi, there's poppy seeds, hemp seeds, God, I'm trying to think. There's absolutely loads. Hemby, hell, hello, I think. There's loads. Wow, that's very interesting, that, Shire. Very interesting. Because I do believe that it can absolutely change them. Do. Oh, I know the Feyreal. Apparently, that's what I am. I'm one of them. So I'm always away with the fairies because I belong with the fairies. They did, James. But what they would do is they'd make sure that before they wore the strings of snail shells, the actual snails inside, they would pop them out and grind them up in the potions. It's a very good mixture that I know that has snail in it that is for impotence. It keeps it up. Syrup glass, syrup. I really need to stay quiet. Probably the wrong thing to say. But I'm going to say good night, guys, because it's nearly 1 in the morning and I have to be up at 6 with the boys. So it's time for me to get some sleep, some Z's. The Amber Amulet was not so much, yeah, things can attach, was not so much actually in a proper, I'm talking about really old style witchcraft, the rose and the thorn, the rose blooded thorn path that my nan was in. I mean, they never wore amber. But they worked with other beings and didn't need protecting against them, Shire. So if others used it, it may have been as some form of protection, maybe, but amber was more used as a stone to gaze into, to see things, to divination, things like that. It was gifted to other worldly beings, but I never actually saw any any of the family wear amber. I got some ruby rings. They were very, very, yeah, hagstones were worn, but they were very into the ruby actually because most of my jewelry I inherited it's all ruby and black gold, ruby and white gold. It's not yellow gold or as diamonds or anything. It's just that. Yeah, I've always used vinegar with a rag on my head. That's always worked a treat. But you stink of vinegar afterwards. But I've used it. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I'm gonna say good night, all. Thank you for joining me. I'll get my batteries changed and such. But remember, I will be coming back with the riddles at some point. I'm going to prepare it all first. Mustard pulse, yeah, yeah. Um, oh, did you see, I'm going to post it somewhere underneath a link. I'm going to leave a link when it's done on YouTube and post it, right? There's a comedian and she put mayonnaise on a flu. She treated a flu with mayonnaise and it made it worse and it's hilarious. It's a full skit, but it's absolutely hilarious. I swear to God. Don't put mayonnaise on your cuckoo. She said, don't put mayonnaise on your cuckoo. But the first one was don't let a guy with dirty hands touch your cuckoo, and then don't put mayonnaise to treat your cuckoo on your cuckoo. And it's a full long skit, and it's hilarious, I swear. So good night, guys. Yeah, she did. She really did, though. She did, and then what did she put on it? What it toothpaste? She said my fanny were frothing. And then she tries something else and it made it swell up twice as large. You've got to watch it. I've got to post it, honestly. It's absolutely hilarious, I swear. It's hilarious. It's awesome. Anyway, good night, guys. Love and light to you all. Mwah. I'm sorry. Mwah. Love you all.